Here you desire to see Houston?
All right. Hey, testing 1, 2, 3. This is my second attempt. I'm here. There we go. That looks a little better. So again, this is my first time doing this, so hopefully it goes well. I'm actually here to talk about a new book I read. I'm gonna try and do these more. We'll see how it goes. It's just for y'all that know me as Chain Chomp 87, the Super Duper Nerd. This was me. So bam, I don't even know if you can see that. I do digital comics, so sorry for those of you who are traditionalists, hard copy that. I do the digital, and I've been reading Scarlet Spider, this new Scarlet Spider-Man, and featuring Ben Reilly. And I will be honest, I just started reading it 2 days ago, and I've already caught up. One, because it is that good. Two, I hesitated to read it because, well, I wasn't looking forward to seeing like what they're gonna do with him. I read the Clone Conspiracy, and he's the bad guy in it. Spoilers, he's the bad guy in Clone Conspiracy. Let's see his lighting better. So anyway, yeah, it just made me hesitant to want to really like get into a Scarlet Spider book. I was kind of over it. Also, a little bit of background. I read this Kane Scarlet Spider run, the one that kind of spun out of Spider Island, which happened, I don't even know when. I was way behind when I read that. So I got the whole Scarlet Spider run pretty economic, and read all 4 volumes. I loved it. I really enjoyed Kane as a character. I enjoyed him as a Scarlet Spider. Another reason I did not want to read this new incarnation. However, Kane is pretty much in every issue, so that makes me happy. I kind of like this whole how they have both of them. I think they knew that some people were big Kane fans. I know when Spider-Verse happened, something happened to Kane. I don't want to spoil too much. I've already spoiled a lot, but I was just like, and then but yeah, so really happy. Also, the reason I hesitated is Clone Wars. The Clone Saga. When I was reading it, I was kind of suffering what we like to call event fatigue. And honestly, I've been catching up a lot on Modern Spider-Man, and I kind of was in my head. I had recently read Spider-Verse as well, so I was constantly comparing the two. So yeah, it was just one of those things where I was really just kind of was just kind of, I don't know, like I said, suffering through event fatigue. So now I'm not, and I finally picked up Scarlet Spider, and holy crap, it's great. First things first, it's a Deadpool book. It says Scarlet Spider. It's a Spider-Man book. I'm gonna try and change the angle on this one. So there we go. That looks better. So anyway, it says Scarlet Spider. It's a Scarlet Spider-Man. It's very much Spider-Man. It has all this, but the book reads like a Deadpool book. When you are reading it, I'm like, this is Deadpool. Just for example, the first issue, he kind of, and I don't want to ruin too much because you should definitely read it for yourself. But he's wandering around and he's like, "Hey, you random old lady, you're Aunt May," and she's like, "No, June," and he's like, "All right, close enough." And like he's just kind of making up friends, and he has kind of this good guy, bad guy dichotomy that I feel like Deadpool hasn't had in a while. And it didn't feel forced. I hate to say it, but every time I read a modern Deadpool book, it feels a little forced. And like even the new one, the Despicable Deadpool, I don't know if you read it. It felt like they were trying too hard to even make him a bad guy, and it didn't have that subtle humor. It was there, but not really. Like he was like, "Hey, I look like a handsome Ryan Reynolds," and it's just like, okay, I don't know. And that's what I'm really worried about the new Deadpool movie. Just calling a spade a spade. I really want it to be good. I loved the first Deadpool movie. Everyone loved the first Deadpool movie. I was a really big fan, and I've always been a fan of Deadpool. Well, not always, but I've been a fan of Deadpool pretty much since I started reading comics. He was one of the first characters I really explored. I have pretty much the first volume of every one of his runs I got. There was a lot of sales on it, on Deadpool digitally when I first started reading comics, so I made sure to grab as many as I could afford at every time. So, and I've actually been currently going through all the Deadpool books, and just trying to read each one at a time. So I've gotten through all of Classic. So I've gotten halfway through Cable versus Deadpool, or not Cable versus Deadpool. Sorry, Cable Deadpool, Deadpool and Cable. Sorry, I'm getting that wrong. But anyway, so I'm worried about the new one. I really, 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 really hope it's as good as the first one. I hope that Fox doesn't get their hands in it too much, like that New Mutants trailer. I really hope that one's good too. Gifted is awesome. So like whatever they're doing with Gifted, they just need to do that with the Deadpool. Like make sure it's good. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, where was I? Lost my train of thought. Scarlet Spider, really good. And yeah, it continues to go. I'm on issue 8 right now. I just finished it last night. Literally 2 days, read the whole, caught up. It's got humor. It's got that Spidey sense, which I'm clearly I'm a fan of Spider-Man. He's probably one of my favorite heroes. But that's another thing. I didn't want to read another Spider-Man book that wasn't Spider-Man. It's one of the reasons I haven't read Renew Your Vows yet, was because I know it takes place. I've heard it's amazing. I'm sure it's great, but it's not like the 616 Spider-Man. So I'm just like, I don't want to commit to another Spider-Man because there's so much to read. It's so hard to like limit your list every month, especially because I've only been reading comics for maybe 5, 6. Well, it's probably 5, 6 years now, maybe a little longer. But in the beginning, I didn't read a lot, and now I'm just like tons. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that at ChainShop87. But yeah, it's just I didn't want to read this book. I didn't want to like it, but I do. I didn't want to have another Spider-Man book to read, and I do now, and I'm really happy I read it, and it's really enjoyable. So if you've been hesitating and you just don't like it because you're like, there's too many Spider clones, I know if you watch Super Show, which you're probably, if you know me, you know them, they talk a lot about the raid event where they kill all the Spider-Man clones, and I'm actually all for it. Personally, I kind of want to pitch an event where like some cosmic powered arcade gets all of the like clone characters and puts them in like an epic fight event, and we actually just get some killed off. It'd have to be a big event though, and we'd have to tie it in, and I don't know. It's something silly, maybe it's stupid. It's just something I thought would be kind of entertaining. Anyway, back to my point. I'm all over the place on this though, but whatever. It's my first time, so hopefully you forgive me for that. I'm not really sure how I want to wrap this up. That's another point. So in one of the newest Scarlet Spider books, he actually, just to prove that this is a Deadpool book, Death shows up. Sorry for spoilers. Death shows up, and 1, they make a joke about Deadpool and Thanos, and 3, it seems like she's got a little crush on Ben, and that there might be some sort of ongoing relationship in the background. Like I said, it's hard to not compare it to Deadpool. Like I said, once Death showed up, it's just like, really? All right. And again, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I think it's awesome. I think Deadpool's kind of been like this lately. I'm hoping it gets back on track with Despicable. I've actually really been liking everything that's coming out of Legacy lately in Marvel. I promise I'll talk. I promise I'll talk about DC. I don't want to be like, hey, he's a Marvel head. I read DC. I don't read as much DC because reasons. I don't have a real good reason. It's just I don't. I'm trying to get better about it. There's so much to read though. So much to read. So anyway, yeah. I think it's great. I highly recommend it. Sorry if this went a little long. This is my first time doing this, so I just have a lot of thoughts, and it's hard to do Twitter, just 160 characters. So here I am. Here that is. I throw it out there. So yeah, hopefully I'll share this with some of you, and we'll see how it goes. I'll try to do more of these and maybe share them. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, maybe no one will be interested in what I have to say. Maybe y'all will be interested. Who knows? Anyway. Thank you so much. Have a great night, day, evening, weekend, winter solstice. It's not winter solstice. Whatever it is you do, have a great one. All right. Bye.